So hello guys, this is continuations of web services automation framework, and this is the I think it's going to be a last video where I will show you how to design the script and how web services flow works, right? So before to start this web services, I would argue to go through my previous web services videos which I have already made. So if you'll browse my site, uh, like if you go to my site and if you browse this URL, something called http://youtube.com user/Mr. Bhanupratap 29/playlists, right? So when you browse this URL, you will get my all playlist. So what you need to do is you need to log in with your Gmail account. So when just make sure that when you are browsing this URL, you are logged in with your Gmail account, right? So that you can see my playlist. And when you click on my playlist, so the moment you click on my playlist, it will open like this. So here you can see that I have made various sections actually. So this is all Java sections, and this is Selenium hybrid framework. This is core Java programming interview question. That is very important. I have made only 5, still I have to make 30 more, because total 35 interview Java programming questions what we have. And if you go through all 35, I don't think so you'll get rejected in any one interview, and that too I'm talking about all tier 1 company, right? So this is my web services framework. Before that, you'll have Selenium videos, few videos, test ng concepts, sibling concepts, and these are the core Java. So guys, before to start with web services framework, you need to be very good into the Java, right? Any automation tool, irrespective of any tool, if you are good in Java, if you're good in programming, you can work with any tool and you can automate any scenario, right? So you need to focus on Java more, and I'll be making video of all the topics of core Java very soon. So this is my rest assured framework, where I have already made 4 videos, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So first watch all these 4 videos and then watch the video which I'm going to make now, so that it will be very useful. It's very useful for you, right? So before to start, this is brief introduction about me. I come from mechanical engineering background and I work as a senior software engineer. I am from Bihar basically. This is my Facebook page. So if you like my Facebook page, you will get all updates, what updates which I do and do on YouTube channels. And this is my core Java playlist, where you will have all my recorded videos which I place there. And so this is a special instruction, go module by module, so that always I tell to have good benefit for the people, right? Also subscribe my channel, so that you will be getting all the updates, right? So now I already have given the enough introduction, enough background about the web services, and I have already shown you like what are the components required in the web services. So before watching this video, watch my video number 1, 2, 3, 4, so that you will understand what I am trying to say. That today we will talk about how to design the scripts and how we test our web services calls, right? To do that, what I am doing, that I am using the test ng annotations, right? So test ng annotations I am using as an execution engine, right, to run our test script. And I am making add test to design the test script of the web services. So if you recall my previous videos, where I spoke about what is the web services.java class, what is fixed URL, what is the URL which is specific to any API, and what response we will get, how we what response we get, and all that, right? Today I will go a little bit more deep into it, right? And I'll try to show you. So what happens in the real time, you will get requirement from the development team saying that these are the endpoint URL, this is the fixed URL, and this is the payload, right? This is the payload, this is the fixed URL, and this is the endpoint URL. So based on that, you can design your automation script. And when I was talking about web services.java, I told you any calls, web services calls, either it is a get, post, put and delete, it requires some kind of input. So when we talk about the get, right, get requires only the endpoint URL, right? Get requires only the endpoint URL. So based on the URL, you can fetch any data from the server or you can fetch any data from the DB side, whereas input and post it requires endpoint URL and the payload. So what is payload? Payload basically is nothing but a data which we are posting to the server, that is called payload. So we requires URL and endpoint URL and payload. In case of delete, you require only URL, but recently they have done some changes in the web services framework. Now even you can supply payload when you are trying to delete multiple records, right? So I think I have shown you in my previous videos, like I have created one RESTful web services code by using Java MVC, and same thing I will show you how to retrieve the data. So this is, I have created one test, verify get countries. If you look at this verify get countries, what it does is it will get all the country details, right? It will get all the country details from the DB side, right? And this country details, what it requires is it requires the URL of this particular API. So any web services URL consists of fixed URL as well as the endpoint URL. So this is my fixed URL. If you look at this fixed URL, this is my fixed URL, http localhost 8080 spring RESTful web services code example. This is my fixed URL, and for every method, right, every method or for every API you have endpoint URL. So endpoint URL dot get countries, this has one URL called /countries, right? And then I am calling that method get resource path. I am calling that method get resource path. This will give me the resource path. So guys, whatever I am explaining today, it has a relation between previous videos. So that's where I requested you to watch previous video, otherwise you will not understand here what I am trying to say, that what is that get resource, what is endpoint URL, right? So now with this endpoint URL I am posting to the server. I am saying that the server, you give me all the countries which is present into the DB. So this web services is a class and get is a method which I have made a static method. So if you look at this, you know, this get method, it takes URI, and what I am doing here is I am creating the object of rest assured, right? So rest assured is a class and given is a static method. Basically this method returns a request specifications, right? It returns request specifications, and I am setting the content type. So request specifications dot content type is equal to content type dot JSON, because I want my data in the form of JSON. Now if you look at here, this same request specifications, whatever reference I have made here, I am trying to get with that URI. So what happens here? The moment I write a request specification dot get with URI, basically it will post to the server and it will fetch all the informations based on the URL, right? Now I have here two scripts designed. One will give me get countries, it will give me all the countries, and if you look at here I have get country by ID. So this is another API what we have, right? Even I will show you what you will get from the development team. I will show you so that you will have better understanding. So this verify get country by ID is here I am saying that you give me the country details based on this particular ID of the country, right? I am saying that you give me the country details based on particular ID. So again I am doing a get call, and here I am just printing the response just for your understanding. Now if I run this, control F11, right? See, test case got executed, and if you look at here this first payload, here you will have all the informations of country is present in the DB. So if you look at here, ID is equal to 1, country name India, population 1000, ID 2, country name is equal to Bhutan, population 7000, ID 3, country name is equal to Nepal, population 8000. So all the informations which present in the DB, you are getting it, right? And you are getting that and the second one, if you look at the second output here, I am getting the country based on the ID. For your understanding, what I will do is I will add some, I will add one space so that, okay, that's fine. So SYSO, so this will make a segment, and I will try to print this URL SYSO and this URL, right? Similarly, I will print this URL. Now I will run this. So when I am running this, if you look at my console, see, this is the first URL of get call. So if you look at the first URL, it's like http://localhost 8080 Spring RESTful web services /countries, right? So this /countries, whatever you are seeing this /countries, it is nothing but your endpoint URL. So the /country is your endpoint URL, which means the moment you will supply /countries, it will look for the method. It will look for the method which is mapped to /countries, and it will give you all the data from the DB side. Now if you look at the country by ID, right? Here after country /1 is nothing but ID of the country. So you are getting the country which has ID is equal to 1. You are getting country details, right? If you look at here /countries, you will have all the information, country ID 1, name India, population, right? Same thing I'm getting here. So that's how web services works, right? So this is all about get calls. So what development team will give to you is, development team basically will give you two things. One, they will give you this fixed URL, of course. They will give you this fixed URL, and then they will give you the endpoint URL based on your API. So when they will give you the requirement, they will give you requirement about get countries, and they will give you /countries is equal to endpoint URL, right? Here they will not give you the payload. They will just give you one simple response. They will give you one simple response. And how they will give you response, I will show you. So you can copy this response from here, Control C, copy, then open the Google Baba and write here JSON lint. So this is one site, JSON lint. Here just paste it, Control V, click on validate JSON. See, your JSON will get formatted. So your development team will give you response like this. They will give you one simple response saying that you should get this kind of response. You should get a response which has ID, country name and populations, right? The development team will give you the simple response that we need to verify, and we need to make sure that we are getting a proper response. Now now 2-3 things we need to understand here. First thing is how we will make sure that the response which we are getting is right. How we will make sure that the response which we are getting is a right response, right? First thing. Second thing, how we will make sure that whatever data I am searching by ID, we are getting the proper ID on the runtime, right? We need to make sure that, right? So there are two ways we can verify our data. One, by we know that for this particular API we will get so and so data, so we can just hard code, or we can just write JDBC connections, and we can take the data from the DB side and we can just put assertion and we can verify. So there are two ways we can achieve that. One, by getting the data from the DB side and verifying against the DB, or second is by writing your the data which you know that like for every call I will get this data, so you can just hard code and you can put a test-ng assertion, right? So yeah, so actually I was doing some modifications with my pom.xml. So guys, you need to add one more dependencies in pom.xml. So if you look at here, this is one more dependencies like com.google.code.json, and artifact id is equal to json, and version is equal to 2.2.4. so please add these dependencies to your Maven, and basically you can search in the Google. So you can, if you'll type this, if you just copy this dependencies, and if you'll type in the Google, so you can get this dependencies. So if you type in the Google, you can get 2.2.4 dependencies. You can just copy here, copy from this place and just paste it, because this is provided by the Google. So you can copy these dependencies, right? Now after adding these dependencies here, I was talking about how to verify your response, right? Because we are getting response from the server, but we need to verify our response. To do that, what we have to do is, since when I ran first time, right, I have the response. So this response, so development team will give you the simple response. Copy the full response, right? Always just run first time, okay, print the response, copy the response, and there is one site, okay, online site, something called JSON schema to pojo.org. So JSON schema to pojo.org, this is the site. Browse this site, okay, paste it here, then select your JSON, okay, select your JSON and select your JSON, right? So here basically you are trying to convert this into a pojo class, right? So paste here, browse JSON schema to pojo.org, paste here, select JSON and JSON, then click on preview. So the moment you will click on preview, see your getters and setters will be created for you. Your getters and setters will be created for you, right? So getters and setters are created for you. So if you look at here, see they have given example is equal to ID, country and populations, and your getter setters are created here. So these are nothing but getter and setters. So what we can do is just copy this class, okay, so sorry, copy this code, not class, copy full code, Control C, open your Eclipse, go to your web services framework, and expand your test, right? And you can actually you can make one package here. Saying that com dot, this is your project name. In place of Hanu, you can write your project name dot, you can write pojo class, okay, finish. Inside that you can create one class called get countries, finish, and just Control C, Control V, just place full code here, remove this line, this line is not required. So you are seeing that a lot of error in this project. We'll rectify one by one. So first of all, this example, click on recompile to rename type to get countries, this class name will get changed. Then you will have some error here. So serialized name, yeah, google.json annotations, click on this, it will get imported. Then import com.google.json annotations, yeah, import that, generated, okay, so generated, add generated, basically this is not required, so this is not required, add generated. Why this error is coming here? Okay, it is asking me to add the package, so I will add the package got added. Now the error has been gone, right? So what I did for the response, so generally what we have to do is first send the request, you will get the response from the server, copy the response, okay, copy the response from Eclipse console, browse this site, JSON to pojo, so JSON schema to pojo, browse this site, paste it here, delete this, paste it here, not this one, your response, copy this response, control C, paste it here, control V, and what you can do is select JSON and select JSON, click on preview. So your getters and setters will get generated, right? Now copy this code, and instead of example you can write your class name. Instead of example you can write your class name. That's what I did. Now what I have to do is I have to basically initialize this JSON, right? So now here my aim is to check whenever I am calling this method get countries whether I am getting proper data or not. That is my aim, right? So to do that, what we need to do is first we need to create one object of JSON builder, right? We need to create one object of JSON builder. So that's how I am creating the object of JSON builder. So JSON new JSON builder dot create, this will basically will generate the instance of JSON builder, and then I am creating the reference of this class. I am creating the reference of this class. So I'll just import this class. I'll just import this class to my test. I'll just import, so my class got imported. Now I'm just creating the reference of this class of type array. You guys will be wondering why array, why not simple, why array, right? Why I'm creating array? The reason behind it is when I'm getting a response, this response is a multiple response, it's not a single response. If you look at here, I'm getting a lot of countries name. Actually I'm getting more than one country's name, ID and all that, right? So basically if you look at this, this is also array, right? See everything within array. So this is your main array, and inside the array you have a map, right? So I want to verify all my response. So that is the reason I'm creating the reference of, I'm creating the array reference basically of the class. After that, so URL, now I will not print the URL, and I am sending the request. So when I'm send the request, I'll be getting the response. So there is, if you'll put response dot get status code, there is one method available in RESTful web services that will give you the status code of the method. If it is a 200, go inside. If it is 200, go inside. So I think I'm getting some error. Why I'm getting this error? I need to see that. And here also change get countries. So okay, this was the wrong name. Okay, so now the error has gone. So you guys will be wondering why I'm writing json.form json, right? This is very important, guys. Whenever you are trying to initialize your Pojo class, so your Pojo class, some error is coming here. It is showing some error here. So I'll just remove. Okay, so there was someone wanted import. So what happens is, since I have converted my, since I have so okay, wait, first I have to write here because I am returning of type array, right? So change to, okay, no, am I doing something wrong? Get countries, just a minute, I think I'm doing something wrong. No, okay, it was the problem with the way we have initialized. Actually that was the problem. So the way we were initializing, right? Because this type should be actually array. So how we create array, generally the type should be of type array. Just clean this. I'll clean my project. Yeah. Now here we need to see one thing. We have created Pojo of the response. We have created Pojo of the response. Now this Pojo we have to initialize, which means we have to set all the data so that we can get data on the runtime, right? So for that, this your JSON has one method called form JSON. And so I was talking about what is this JSON, right? So basically JSON, you can say that it's a mechanism where through which we can initialize your POJO class. So basically we are creating the instance of JSON. This is a step we need to remember, right? New JSON builder dot create, it basically it creates the instance of JSONs, and JSON has this class has one basically called method called form.json, right? So this form.json basically it's an it takes two argument. One, it will take as a string argument, right? One, it will take a string argument and the instance of the class, like for which class you want to create the, I mean for which POJO class you want to initialize that, right? So this if you look at this get countries, so we have created the reference of type array of get countries, and here what we are doing that we are with this reference dot form JSON we are trying to initialize the POJO. So what we need to supply here, so we have the response which is coming from server, right? So response dot get body, so get body is a method. So if you write here dot, right, you will get body. You can see here, see get body is coming here, right? So this method dot as a string, because this form JSON will take argument as a string as a first argument, and it will take an instance of the class. So now my POJO class got initialized. So the moment I will have my POJO class initialized, initialized, and since it is in the form of array, so this is my reference variable for the POJO class. So why I am giving 0, because it's an array, so I want to get what is coming in the first response at 0 index dot. Here if you look at, I can print this get id, right? So to show you how this works is, what I will do is I will just make one for loop, so that we can understand how all data is getting initialized. So if I write here I0, I less than get countries dot length I plus plus, right? And what I will do is control X, I will paste it here, and here I will write instead of 0 I will write I, right? Now I'll run this, so I should get all the code, because at the response, so whatever class we have initialized, the POJO class, the getter and setter, what we have made here, right, that I have already shown you, this getter and setters, right? So this getters and setters, so that's what we have made, and we are trying to get all the IDs. So if I do control F11, right, I'm running this, so it got run. Now see 1 2 3 4 5, so I'm able to get all the ID of the response, right? So before that I have shown you like response was like this, 1 2 3 4. So all ID I'm getting it, all ID I'm able to retrieve, right? So now I got a mechanism through which we can retrieve all the ID. So just to make sure that whether our data is coming proper or not, so we know that like what data, so assert dot, sorry, so I can write testng assertion, assert dot, no, sorry, not this one. So what I can write is assert dot assert equals, right? This one I can write a string, and expected should be 1, and actual, what actual should come, actual should come from get countries of based on index dot get id, right? So here I am putting assertion basically. What is one object is ambiguous of type. Okay, so I can do one thing, yeah, because it takes a string, so when I'm trying to do get id, okay, so what I can do is, when it takes a string here, it's not like it will not take, it will take an, even it will take a string. So what I'll do is, yeah, a string, okay, integer it won't take. No, it has, so it takes only a string. Okay, integer it takes, right? Expected and this actual, it takes an string. This should work fine. Okay, so mm, what is the problem here? Why this is object? Okay, okay, I got it. So one is not a object, that is a problem. So one is not the object. So we can do one thing, since we have to test that, right? So we have to test that, like whatever country is coming is right or wrong. So what basically we can do is we can write new integer, because this will take an argument. So new integer, and then I can supply the value I. Now, so why it was throwing error is, see, this assort dot assort equals, basically it will take an object, right? And when I was writing one, so one is basically is nothing but it's an integer type. So we need to convert integer into a object. To do that, we need to make the object of the integer, this is a wrapper class, and we need to supply I. So that's where, guys, that's where I was keep on saying that you need to be very good in the Java, then only you can achieve all that, otherwise it's very hard, right? So I'm converting into the integer I, and this get countries dot I dot get ID, so this will give us the ID. Now we need to see one thing. I'll just run this, let's see whether this is passing or this is failing. So this got failed. Okay, this got failed. We need to understand why it is getting failed. It is saying that expected was 0 but actual ID was 1, right? Expected was 0 but actual ID was 1. Yes, correct. So what we have to do is we need to start from the 1, because we don't have ID is equal to 0, and here is make it equal to, because I'm starting from 1. So I want to run till my country's length. So if I'll run this time, it will get pass. Oh, still it is failing. Again we need to understand. So expected was 1 but was 2, right? But was 2. Okay, expected was 1 but was 2. Fine, we will try to understand what is happening here. I'll put one debug point here. I'll put one debug point here, not here. Yeah, I will put one debug point here. I'll run this. I will debug as testng, and so it came here resource path. Okay, fine. F6 it came here f8 f8, right? F8, yeah, it came here. So what is the response code? This is this form of metadata, right? So config. Okay, I'm getting all the data now. F6, so this dot response dot code. So I need to see next assure content type session ID status code. So if you go inside, the status code is 200, right? So this is fine. Now I am initializing my Pojo. F6 got initialized. So this is the country, and every array is got initialized. So if you go inside, see country name India, ID, population, so it got initialized, right? So all your 5 data came on the response. Your Pojo class got initialized, it came on the response. Now if you do F6, so what is your I value here? I is equal to 1, and okay, so this is going as a get off 1. So what is happening, guys, is, Basically when we are getting get countries, right, this has 0 1 2 3, right? But what happens here is, since I am starting with 1, I am starting with 1, so this is trying to get the data which has index 1. So if you go to again this get countries, right, see it is trying to get data from this 1. So if you expand this here, your id is equal to 2. So what we have to do is, here we need to make -1. Why -1? I will explain you. Since array starts from 0, right, and id is starting from 1, so here I have to start from 1, because my id, the expected id, should start from 1 and it should increase, right? But here the get country is, this is the array, so array start from 0. So though I'm starting from 1, here I'm making it 0. So for second time when I is equal to 2, here here it will be, index will be 1, because 2 minus 1 is equal to 1. And now this will pass. See, this got passed. So your verifications is happened, right? Your verification is happening. So that way we can make sure that our data is correct, right? We can make sure that data is correct. Now we need to do one more verifications, like we need to check for the populations where our this population is correct or not, or we need to make sure that the country name is correct or not, right? So we need to make sure that, so there are ways we can achieve that. I mean, there are ways we can achieve that. We can verify the country name also. So I will show you one approach in that. What I will do, in before class I can make one array list. So I can make one array list which will take a string, and I will make country is equal to new array list, right? And I will just store. So this is not the way generally. This generally we verify against the db. Since here I don't have db, so I am just trying to show you. So I can just store my data. We know that at 0 of index what data will come. So I will add all my country here, but this is not the ideal way, right? Since here I don't have any options, so because I don't have db connections, otherwise we can take the data from the db. So first we can keep as a India, second response should come as a Bhutan, third response should come as a Nepal, and fourth response should come as a China. So we know like this many country will come, right? So I can put one more assertion here, assert equals, and now I will verify the string. Here I can write country. Okay, so what I have to do is I have to make this reference outside, so this will be public. Control X, I have to make it here, so this will be public, and my all test method can access this. And I will create object in my before class, right? Now country will be available here, dot get of I. Here also I have to do 1, because here also I have to do get of the data which is coming, and here I can do same thing here. So get countries dot get country name, right? So this is my second verifications, right? Because here I know that like in response my data will come like this. So generally we don't do in the real time. In real time we verify through the db, right? Or we can store on the runtime and we just verify. So what I'm doing here is country.get. So this is my array list. I'm trying to get, and I'm doing I-1 because array list, you know, it stores from 0, right? Since I is starting from 1, so I'm making sure that this, you know, I'm changing back to 0. So when I is 2, this will become 1. So countries again I-1, that get country name. If I run this, right, if I'll run this, it will pass. See, it is passing. Your test is passing, right? Now intentionally what I will do, instead of India I will write India 1, and I will just run this control F11. This will fail actually. It will fail, saying that, see here it is failing, saying that, you know, the expected was 1 but found was this. I mean the country name, it is saying that the expected country name was this and the found was this blank. So what we can do is now if I'll remove this, if I run control F11, now it should pass. It is passing, right? So in so again what I will do, again I will make to 1. I would like to see why the proper thing is not coming. Control F11. Okay, it got filled. So I'll go to the test ng report, and here if I'll click on this, okay, here also I'm getting the same thing. So comparison failure. Okay, comparison failure. Okay, fine. So comparison failure, it is saying that see, expected word 1 at the end but was found was blank. So that actually compare is not working here, because this 1 is not coming on the runtime. On the runtime it is coming as without 1, right? So hope I think this is clear for you guys. So what I will do now is I will show you by putting a debug point once, so that you guys will understand. I'll put here debug point. So how getter and setters works here. So I'll just put a debug point here, and remaining debug point I will remove that. I don't want unnecessary debug point. I'll remove this, and yeah, I don't want anything else. Now I will run my script, this get call. If I'll do debug as test ng, so it will open in the debug mode. See, so it is waiting here, right? Response. So if it is at 200, so if we'll go to this groovy response, if we'll go inside, so you'll have something called a status. See, it is 200, which means success. It will go inside F6. It didn't came here in get countries. Set population should have come, but it didn't came here, no problem. So F6. So if you look at here, get country, right? Get country got initialized, and you have all the data. So if you expand this, you have country name Bhutan, ID is equal to 2, population is equal to 7,000. It is coming from response, and this data what we are supplying from the array list, like which we have made array list: India, Bhutan, Nepal, China, right? So if we'll do F6, again it will go there, it will check for the length, again it will run. So hope you guys understood what is the benefit of making this reference of type array, right? Because we know that when we are getting a response, we are getting in terms of array. So we need to test, we need to check that all response is proper or not. So on this response I'm running a for loop, and I'm checking for the ID, whether ID I'm getting proper or not, or whether I'm country name I'm getting proper or not. So hope this is clear for you guys. Okay, hope this is clear for you guys. And I was thinking this is going to be a last video, but of course not. We have to make some other video. I need to make some other video also for the update, put and delete and everything, right? So that I'll be making different video, because this video will be coming too long, right? So I'll close this today, and thank you for watching this video. Please like my video, subscribe my channel, like my Facebook page. Okay, thank you once again.